What's going on, YouTube Gen X? Like we said before, if you're trying to highlight black men's issue with skin complexion, you have to give us an example of a black woman who's light-skinned, preferably not mixed but light-skinned, uh, who does not have European features. They don't have the long flowing hair, and they don't have the sort of video chick like body. And if black men are still going crazy over her, then we have a problem. Now, I'll admit that you can have an average, decent black woman who will get awarded more points because she's light-skinned, but the way black women put it out there, we can't control ourselves. As long as they're light-skinned, we're all over it. So give me uh, a black woman that may not have the best body. Hair is kind of crazy. She doesn't have the European features. And, show me the black men that are just drooling all over her. Now, an example that I know Willie Pete has mentioned before, and I've talked about it amongst my peers, is the whole Tisha Campbell. Tisha Campbell was never that chick. Black men were never screaming about Tisha Campbell. When she was on Martin, which was one of the biggest black shows ever, no one was really tripping. Uh, even on House Party 1 and House Party 2. Y'all remember House Party 1? The dark-skinned girl was the hotter chick. Kid and Play were trying to get at the darker girl. So Kid, the light-skinned one, had to settle for Tisha Campbell. But they both wanted a dark-skinned black chick. So you sit back and you're like, well, what happened with Tisha Campbell? Now, I'm not saying that she had, black features, but just overall, Tisha Campbell wasn't that cute. Even on Martin, I wasn't really tripping. Yeah, she had her good moments here and there, but I wasn't really tripping. To tell you the truth, if I look back on it now as an adult, I'm probably trying to check for Pam more than Gina. Gina, once again, she'll have her good weeks or whatnot, but overall, I'm more so checking for Pam. So you look at Tisha Campbell, and you're like, okay, where were black men when she was hot? Right? How come black men weren't throwing her around everywhere? Oh, this is what we want, this is what we want. She wasn't that cute. She wasn't that cute, even though she had that sort of, light-skinned complexion. So I'm sitting back and, we're like, give us examples. Give us examples. Because at the end of the day, a good body's still a good body. Yeah, there are chicks that may be light-skinned, not cute, they don't have the hair, but if they have a banging body, they have a banging body. I don't care even if she's dark-skinned, right? Most men will tell you there's been that one or two chicks that you mess with weren't cute, hair was a mess, but their bodies were on point. So you got to control for that as well. So you sit back and you're like, what's left? And I don't really see it. Now on the flip side, I've had conversations with Indian women, especially ones that I went to high school with and college with, who were darker in skin tone. And I was talking to them because they associated with black people more. And they would talk about how it was so bad that you can be unattractive, but if you have the lighter complexion as a woman, you were hunted down. You were highly coveted. Whereas if you were darker in skin tone but highly beautiful, as some of these girls were, they weren't being checked for. They were being thrown away. I have an easier time listening to Indian women talk about skin complexion than I do black women. Sorry. Because y'all never give us real examples that we can say, uh-oh, let me take it back to the drawing board. You're always giving us a chick that looks good facially, that, may have a certain hair type, and it may have a body type. It's like running to Vanessa Williams on some like, oh, you guys only like Vanessa Williams because she has light skin, and it's like, no. And then once again, I don't really see black men, and I know Willie Pete mentioned this and Solo mentioned it, I don't really see your uh, pretty black women that may be darker in skin tone being thrown away. You know, they got their stuff well put together. I don't see them thrown away. Yeah, you may get into the complexion if she's on the extremely dark side, but once again, most people aren't that dark skinned, to tell you the truth, where it's just like, it's uh, almost, they're almost blue. No, most people aren't even like that, right? But even then, you know, there'll always be somebody that likes it. There'll always be some person that kind of likes how they're put together. You know, once again, if a woman has a banging body, you know, most dudes will do a double take, and it's like, what's really good? So I'm waiting for the example. Because I stay getting the same sort of issue about, oh, it's the skin color, it's the skin color, and you're looking at the darker skinned black girl, and her shit is not together. You know, I just had an argument with my homegirl not too long ago, because we went to an event, and we're driving back, and she's asking me, oh, you know, what chicks at the kickback did you find to be attractive? And I'm like, oh, her, and her. And it's like, oh, she immediately went to the whole skin color. I'm like, yo, the chicks that were in there that were dark skinned, how were they looking? How were they looking? And she knew me, so I even got more mad because she knows I don't do all that. If you're cute, you're cute. I don't do the whole skin color thing. That's not how I operate. But you sit back and it's time after time, you know, you're trying to put black men on blast, and it's like, yo, let me help you, honey. Let me do your job for you. You go find me a black woman who only has light skin. She doesn't have European features. She doesn't have the hair. She doesn't have the body. And show me the black men that are just drooling all over them. Then we'll talk. But like I said, look at Tisha Campbell. Look at Tisha Campbell. Black men were never screaming about Tisha Campbell like that. Never. She was cool. She was whatever. Her light skin wasn't saving her. It is what it is. So that's my vid. Y'all take it easy. God bless.